time for us to look at some issues in marriage and discuss together. We always love to get your feedback and hear from you how this is being a blessing to you. So welcome to OpenHeartz. Today we are going to be covering unlocking the potential of your marriage or relationship. We'll be looking at 1 Peter 4, which will be our main text. We all agree that every marriage faces hard times, pain, hurt, disappointment are all part of the game somehow when we get into relationships. Difficult times, when they come, when we are not prepared for them, they can throw your entire marriage off the track. So we need to remember that regardless of what you face, you must think as a team. You must not let the things you go through divide you or cause you to think differently about each other. Because the moment the team is broken, then it's easy for the enemy to make a score. We need to avoid character assassination and belittling of each other, particularly in moments of difficult struggles. We do know in relationships that there are certain triggers that will bring pain in a marriage or in a relationship. One is just the immaturity of the couple. One of you looks at things in a bit immature way, and that can hurt the way both of you look at issues. There is also things about sickness, bankruptcy, financial issues, depression, conflicts of various kinds, and so forth. All these are a part of the triggers of pain and possibly even suffering in the relationship. See, I came across two great quotes by Churchill and Roosevelt. And Winston Churchill says this, that continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is key to unlocking your potential. So for us as a couple, we need to realize that yes, we need some intelligence, but you will never get enough education from school to help you know how to relate to your spouse. You have to put in a great more effort in doing your best, dying to self, being intentional to do some things differently. Roosevelt says that happiness lies in the joy of achievement and the thrill of creative effort. This effort is continuously being creative in doing things differently. See, our education and our achievements may never, in the end, be key to unlocking the potential and how we truly relate to each other. Though important, career has kind of taken over and become like the key focus in how couples relate to each other. So we fight each other because of career, because of money, because of education issues, because of advancement. Or as soon as one gets more money, then fights come in. So we really have never known how to tame each other and tame ourselves even when issues of career come into play. See, Paul reminds us in Romans chapter 12 and verse 18, if possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. So basically God throws the ball in your court, not your partner's court, your court, and says, as far as it depends on you, make every effort. So basically, for me and my wife, God is telling me I need to do a bit more in the relationship that you have with your partner. You need to do a bit more to make sure that things are working. Over the next couple of weeks, I'll be covering one major issue as we look at unlocking this marriage potential or relationship potential. Because the idea here is that we need to, in the next couple of years, look at ourselves and see that we have unlocked some things in our relationships that really make us begin to be happy about how we are relating with each other. So the first thing that I want to cover this week is marriage will stretch your faith and endurance through the trials that will come your way. So here are two things. Your faith will be stretched, your faith and endurance will be stretched because of trials. This is all to say there is no relationship without conflict. There is no relationship without a bit of pain. There is no relationship that will be perfect. So knowing that we are imperfect people, trying to make a perfect relationship, then we will give each other some space to grow and to do things better. So unlocking the potential in your relationship requires endurance. A marriage relationship is bound to have moments of difficulty, but with some effort, we will of course deal with the disappointments and the pain. Did you actually realize that disappointment and pain in a relationship has a way of purifying you? Think about the times you have been angry and how later you feel so bad about some things you did or said. You know, that's a way of relearning or seeking to do better, because what pain has just done or anger has just done is to reveal what was lying inside of you that needs to come out. So Hebrews chapter 12 verse 14 reminds us to work at living at peace with everyone and work at living a holy life. So that is being at peace with people, and on the other hand, you are thinking about your life, living a life that is pleasing. See, our inner life is key to how we treat each other and relate with those around us. In the end, endurance must be a character trait that needs to be embedded in the way we relate with people. So 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 1 and 2 therefore brings us to this particular space where it says, therefore, since Christ suffered in his body, arm yourselves with the same attitude. So suffering becomes an attitude that we need to embed in how we relate. And when we know that Christ suffered for us, we are willing to go an extra mile for others. Enduring difficult moments in relationships can help develop in us perseverance. And that perseverance completes our godly character. That's why the scripture there continues to say that as a result, they do not live the rest of their lives, their earthly lives, for evil human desires, but rather for God's will. So in the end, God is completed in us through the way we behave and live with each other. Romans chapter 5 and verse 3 and 4 says, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience works experience, and experience hope, and hope makes not ashamed. So how can we guard against abuse while allowing pain to mature us? God will stretch our faith as a couple. He may do this through the way we communicate about pain, the way we go through painful events, like retrenchment, retirement, the way we talk. See, at the end, the pain that is allowed to go our way will have a particular purpose. And part of that purpose is to grow us and to mature us. It is such troubles that reveal our inner, what we are made of. See, endurance at the end builds experience and helps us to be hopeful in the future. There's one couple, as I come to the end, that I would like to share about that is not so talked about in the Bible, and that is Ezekiel and his wife. You see, the Bible talks about Ezekiel, who shows great love. In Ezekiel chapter 24 and verse 15 to 18, the word of the Lord came to me, it came to Ezekiel, and says, Son of man, with one blow I'm about to take away from you the delight of your eyes. Yet you do not lament and weep or shed tears. Groan quietly, do not mourn for the dead. Keep your turban fastened and your sandals on your feet. Do not cover your mustache and beard or eat the customary foods of mourners. So I spoke to the people in the morning, and in the evening my wife died. The next morning I did as the Lord commanded. What a suffering, what a pain. But all God was trying to do to Ezekiel is to help Ezekiel understand the love that God had for Israel. And that's why he wanted to bring that restoration for Israel. But knowing that we are a type of, in our relationship with Christ, we are the bride of Christ. We do realize the kind of love that God loved us with. And in that way, we need to love our spouses in that way. And what pain it was that this man had to go through. What amount of pain will you need to go through for the sake of your spouse? I believe that this week you may need to think about how precious that person is to you. The Bible calls Ezekiel's wife the delight of his eyes. And you know what? I know he passed through great pain. But I do realize God heals too. And I do know that God can heal you in all that you may go through and the pain that you may pass through. I pray that God will encourage you, God will encourage your relationship, and God will help you build each other up in the faith so that in the end you become like Him. Because pain is just but a tool that makes us to become holy and pleasing before God. May God help you to be strong. I don't know what you're going through in your relationship, but I pray that God of heaven may bring you comfort, that the Prince of Peace may dwell in your family, that as a relationship, God may heal and give you eyes to see that He's about to do something new. May He work endurance and patience in you so that He may help you to be an overcomer. God bless you. It was so nice to share together. Let's meet again next week and continue in our discussion in 1 Peter chapter 4. God bless. Thank you for watching OpenHeartz. What a pleasure. It's always a joy to know that you are on the other side of the link. But please, be sure to comment, be sure to like, and you know what? Subscribe too, and send it to a friend. And let's all make this a great family.